You are now tuned in to the Couples Lounge show.
It's live, it's real, it's entertaining.
That morning show telling you what somebody should have told you about love, marriage, and relationships. Ain't nobody doing it like us.
Because they ain't us.
New episodes every Saturday, giving you something to talk about. Good morning, good morning, good morning, people. I can't hear the sound over here on our computer, so I hope y'all can hear the sound from us. What's up? What it do? What it do? It is the Couples Lounge show. Are y'all ready for an amazing show on today? Baby, can you check? All right, all right. So we're about to get it crack-a-lacking. You all are tuned into the Couples Lounge show. I'm your girl, Candace, and this is my sexy husband, Ramon. And we are the dynamic duo of this show. So the holidays are fast approaching. How we rolling? How are we rolling? Say what's up to the people, baby. All right, all right. So holidays are here. 'Tis the season to be jolly. La 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 la. Y'all ready? Is y'all ready? Are you ready? Hey, are you ready? The holidays are supposed to be a joyous time. We with family, we with friends, we enjoying ourselves. It's the season of Thanksgiving, it's the season of love. And for many people, that's exactly what it is. For some people, holidays, this is their favorite time of the year because I think it brings a different dynamic. I'm not that type that just get all into the holidays or whatever. Good morning, Melody. Good morning, Ann. But for some people, like people are putting up their trees right after Halloween, not after Thanksgiving, after Halloween. How many of y'all already got y'all trees up? I already got to and be going all out and be so beautiful. But the reality, no, I'm not gonna say the reality of it is. Some people's reality is the holidays can bring up grief. Holidays can bring up because of we have these expectations during this time when you are not conforming to my expectations, it becomes somewhat of an issue because it's the holiday season and you acting like a grouch and etc. and you spoiling the mood. Or is it the places that we're going that kind of cause some anxiety and some stress? So that's what we're going to talk about on today. How you rolling as a couple during the holidays, or how do we roll as a couple? So babe, I'm going to ask you this question first. Is it a red flag if we've been dating and I'm not invited to your holiday events with your family? If you're going with your family and I'm not invited, should I be concerned? Is that normal?
No, it's not normal. I mean, if we're
Well, dating, I might not say
dating, yeah, that you got to put give me some more information. If we just started dating, no, that is normal. If we're casually dating, no, I'm not inviting you to Christmas dinner. But if we're in a relationship and you're not invited now, that's a problem. That's a problem. Red flag. Yeah.
What if they say, yeah, we in a committed relationship, but I'm not inviting you. We're going over here or we're going over there, and that's not something you got to go to. You go with your family, and I'm going with mine.
But we're in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. No, that's a huge red flag. Huge red flag. Man, I don't even understand how you explain that one away.
Okay. Melody says not a red flag if y'all not at that level yet. And so I guess the couple has to determine.
If we in a committed relationship, how are we not on that level?
Right. I kind of agree with you on that. Good morning, Keisha. So I think it's like this for me. If you would invite me to other things, if you invite me to kick it with your homeboy or your homegirls, or you invite me to friend with people that you are close with, you invite me to those things. But then when it comes to your family, I'm not invited because this will be my thing. The family, that's that person is showing up. Who if you are that chick or that dude to that person. Cause the reality, some people's reality is you're in a committed relationship with somebody that's married. You're in a committed relationship with somebody where you are the side chick and you don't know you the side chick or the side dude. And so absolutely not. You're not gonna come around the family because then my family know I mess with you. But that's where my wife or my husband or my real dude or woman comes to. So that's why I figure if holidays will show you where your relationship can be a barometer of where your relationship is at. Are you invited during the holidays? Because no other holidays really mean, if you think about 4th of July, you think about Memorial Day, Labor Day, those are not family holidays. Thanksgiving is where you're coming together with your family. Christmas is where you're coming together with your family. And so I can kick it with you all those other holidays. But now the holidays that have some significance, you not inviting me.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. For me, that would be definitely a red flag for me.
No doubt. No doubt. I can feel that. I feel that.
So we're gonna shift it a little bit. So now we're invited. We about to go out, whether we husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. What happens when one of you all? Because in most relationships, you have an introvert and you have an extrovert. Sometimes you have both in a relationship, whereas both two introverts and two extroverts. But more times than not, since opposites attract, you're gonna have an introvert and an extrovert.
Okay.
So what happens when the two of us go out? Explain what could happen. How does it look?
When you have those, one person is engaging, the other one could be, standoffish, if you will. Uh, just
Okay, go ahead.
uh, you know, kind of dead, just there physically, but mentally somewhere else. Or you get there, somebody's ready to go real quickly. Um, you talking about something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think the and is and not even to be standoffish. Sometimes the introvert
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
low
Laid back.
energy.
Yeah.
Like I
Laid
just
back.
kind
That's
of
the word.
chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not all in about the hoopla. I come, I sit. I'm a socialize with the people like this right here. Where the extrovert, they bouncing room to room. What's up? They got the energy. They hype. They live, and they just kind of almost like a busybody. They socializing with everybody. They don't meet no strangers. But when as a couple, when you go out, if you are not on the same page or you're not understanding of the other person's energy or style or way of being, it can be frustrating because if I'm the type, we go to the family functions, I want to be one of the ones that's the last person leaving, which is me. I'm that one that I want to stay to the very end. What if we leaving at 5? I don't want to be grabbing my stuff to 4:59. If we got there at 2, I don't want to leave at 10. I'm good. Whereas Mon is like, he'll get to a point where he ready to go. And that was for, I would say, yeah, it was sometimes an issue. Sometimes maybe not even at during the holidays, but just when we go places, he kind of be ready to go. And I'm still ready to stay. And how would you say that has shown up between us sometimes?
It was an issue at times. You will be upset or bothered that I'll be ready to go. But I mean, that's an easy fix. Take two cars.
Yeah. Courtney, get out of here. Close the door. Y'all
Take
sorry.
take two.
Courtney be our Polly Perry.
Yeah, so that's an easy fix. But it should be an easy fix. But if another person feels a certain way that you're leaving
Yeah.
or that you're staying
Yeah.
while I'm leaving, then it could be an issue. It could be easily, all right, you stay, I go. Boom, problem
Yeah.
solved. But if either party has an issue with it, then boom, that's a problem.
You all make sure you all are sharing the video. I know our family members are on this morning. Hey David, what's up? Precious, how y'all doing? I already said what's up to everybody else. Share the video. So I would say also this, like he just said, it could be an easy fix, but sometimes it's but we never, not never. This is that one time where you can make an adjustment. Either way, this is the one time that you can make an adjustment. We're going around family. It could, on my end, it could have been just this one time. I don't ask you to stay to the end with me a lot, but why you just can't stay this time? It's we don't hardly go over here that much. Everybody's gonna be together. Why not just this time? Why do we have to take two cars? Why can't we spend this day together? Whereas our normal is we kind of move separately. So why can't you not be there now? And so when you find yourself dealing with an introvert and an extrovert at a function, again, like I said, it's being understanding. Sometimes the introvert might agree, okay, babe, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna hang. But if I start feeling overwhelmed, or if I start feeling like, it's just too much, the energy is too much here,
Right.
I'm gonna give you a signal. And the introvert can be like, all right, babe, when you give me the signal, we'll roll,
Right,
we'll
right, right,
leave.
right, right. Well, again, it could be simple, but it could be a huge blow up. Like I don't know. I don't know. Taking two calls, you stay, I leave. I don't understand. I mean,
That's what we have come to
but
now. That's the
also
understanding.
depends on where it's at
That's true too.
and the event.
That's
And
true too.
is you like you leaving my mama retirement dinner, you leaving my daddy's retirement dinner, and we having whose father's retirement dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that is an issue. I can't explain. I don't know how you explain. Yeah, I don't want to stay the whole time for your
Mm-hmm.
daddy's retirement dinner. What?
And Precious said, "What? LOL, not Ramon." And this is what I noticed about Ramon. But then too, in my growth process, I choose to pick my battles because Mon is an extrovert a lot of the time. But then he at moments can switch over to this person that I don't want to hang, or I want to go and I want to leave early. And so I would have an issue with, oh, when it's these people, now you're willing to stay all night. I'm always willing to stay all night, but you're willing to stay all night here. But when it comes to being here, more times than not, it will be something that I'm telling him to asking him to go to, where now you want to leave or you don't want to stay long. But if you go that place, you can stay there all night. And so I will start having an issue with that, because now you're picking and choosing what you want to have, where you want to commit your time to. But in my growth, it's like, okay, but he has that right. You know what I'm saying? That if he don't want to hang there like that, okay, whatever. This is the thing, Candace. You can choose to make it a big deal, or you can choose to accept it as it is and be like, okay. But just like he got a choice, I got a choice. And it's like, hopefully you be that understanding when it's time for me to have a choice as well. So, but yeah, he is a showboat, quiet being selfish. What you mean by that?
Being selfish. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it. I mean, depending on what it is, really. So there are certain situations and you gotta go. And you gotta stay. And then there's certain situations you feel it's not that big of a deal. It ain't that big of a deal, but it's your cousin son's birthday party. Man, what's the big? I showed up. Nah, I ain't staying the whole time. Why I need to stay the whole time for that? It's a cousin, nephew.
He ain't finna exaggerate.
Okay, well, it's something like that. It ain't nothing major.
But what if it's major to your significant other? What if it's major to them?
Then we got to talk. I mean, it depends on what it is, though. I don't want to hear it's major. And again, it's your cousin's graduation, son's.
Oh gosh.
That's not
So
major to me.
this will be for when you're dealing with this situation when it's introvert and extrovert. Have the discussion before you leave the house. Don't wait till you get to the event and you trying to pull a okey doke like you already have it in your mind. You're not staying long, but you ain't communicated that, or that you want to stay to the end and you have not communicated that. So have the discussion before you leave the house. So, babe, we finna go to this event. What time we leaving? Okay, so we saying we're gonna leave that time. At any time in the moment, if one of us ready to go, let's shoot each other a text, let's give each other a signal, whatever the case may be, and that's what we gonna go on. So that you're not getting to these functions and y'all getting to a verbal confrontation in front of everybody, or you sending text messages and people realizing, oh, they energy changing. They arguing via text. Y'all ain't saying nothing, but people peeping your energy. So have a conversation before you leave the house and be on the same team going to the event. Because you don't want, during the holidays, you do want to keep your energy up. You do want to have a good time. And so let's just be proactive versus reactive when we get there. And so where are we going? Where are we going during the holidays?
$1 million question. I believe you should split, unless
You believe we should split up during the holiday?
No.
Oh.
Split your time.
Oh.
I mean, if it's World War III when you show up to one side of the family and I hate your daddy, I hate your mama hate me, your daddy hate me, I don't like being around them, and it's like we about to fight every time I'm there. That's a
Do we go? Do we go? If it's that much heat when we go, do we go to that house? If my spouse cannot get along with the people that is going to be there, do we go?
I would say no. If I know you hated my family and my family couldn't stand you, then that's the situation where okay, I'll go without you. But if it's not, hopefully that's I can't say
it's the reality for some people.
For some, hopefully it's not the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But in normal cases, it depends on where you at, the location. Like if my family in the same town, we can couple hours here, a couple hours there. Mm-hmm. If we're far off, this holiday here with yours, this holiday with yours, with mine, and just switch it up.
So rotating sometimes is one option.
Yeah.
So you can rotate, and then some. I will tell you this: the first example that he gave, and you going in, it's an issue. Sometimes a spouse can be telling their spouse, "Well, you the reason." They don't see their family being the reason. You got an issue with everybody. You the one that's causing the drama when we go to the houses. You the one that's got the attitude. My family don't have a problem with you, but yeah, if you come with that energy, my family gonna give it back. So at that point, when that discussion is like that, that spouse is gonna feel like you stand by your family and you're not standing by me. But the reality of it is, some people can be causing their own drama or that type of drama coming to events. And so you got to get real with yourself. Is it me? Am I causing the issue, or does this whole family, or why would a whole family not like me? Am I showing up a certain type of way that will cause people to not want me or to assume I have an attitude or this, that? If everybody's saying it, you got to get to the mirror and really ask yourself. Or maybe y'all had a situation that y'all haven't forgave each other and people are still harping on the situation. Get that stuff cleared up before the holidays or this year holiday. It should have been cleaned up whenever it happened. But get that stuff cleaned up, because we keeping that energy going. And if your family is big and y'all get together a lot, Like, why? Why is it really that serious? I would say that. I would say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then again, I wouldn't want you nowhere you're not welcome, and
Mm.
I wouldn't want to be nowhere that I'm not welcome. If I'm not welcome here and not wanted here or made to feel unwelcome here, I'm not going. I don't care how you feel about it. And be honest with you, if the shoe was on the other foot, I'm not making you go.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not welcome. I know they treat you a certain way. Why
Mm-hmm.
in the world would I put my spouse through that? Why?
Yeah.
Why? I know that's my family, but you the number one. I mean, I think this is what people tend to get. This is the number one family. This here,
Mm-hmm.
the marriage. Um, so forget it's just that simple. This is the number one. So if
And I would say
we
this,
gotta do
if
what's best for us.
absolutely, you absolutely do. And I would say if I knew my family had an issue with Ramon, I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. I'm not trying to take my family side. I'm trying to figure out how can I help them have peace, because I love my family and I want to be around my family. So who is the issue with? We need to get down to the get down and figure it out so that this can be resolved, because most of the stuff is unnecessary. Or not unnecessary. Most of the things can be talked about, can be forgiven so that we move on. Now, if I did something to you and you just refusing to forgive or to look past it, or not even look past it, but be able to talk about it so we can get some resolve, then there's nothing you can do with that person. If a person is that stubborn where they don't want to work it out, they can't forgive you, I ain't gonna do it. It's no point. It's nothing you can do with that type of energy. So, like Mon said, it's understanding that this unit comes first. This unit comes first. So, if I'm not welcome there, we not welcome there. And that's just how we should be rolling. If my wife ain't welcome, if my husband ain't welcome, then I'm not welcome.
Or made to feel unwelcome. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're gonna treat me or treat her a certain way once we get there.
No,
Nah,
absolutely
we're
not.
not going. And
And
who wouldn't understand me not going?
yeah,
Somebody that's single.
and I would say this, like Ann said, like, what are you telling your family when your spouse is on around? Are you checking your family on that? Are you getting in the mix with them and talk? Yeah, I know they this, that, and the other, and you are continuing to light the fire of them not liking them. Or are you trying to be the balm, BALM? Are you trying to soothe out things? Are you trying to be the healing amongst your family? Because that matters. Because if you get with your family and you dogging your spouse, that what makes you think they finna change their perspective and their view? So that's one side of where are we going. Another side of where are we going is family wants you to come. Say, for instance, it might be an out of town situation. They want you to come, but in reality, you really can't afford it, but you want to be there because mama asking you, or you want to be there because daddy asking you. But you really can't afford that move. You really can't afford that travel. What do?
Do what's best for us.
Go back to doing what's best for the family.
I mean, you try to make it work if you can, if you really want to be there. But if you know, okay, finance man, we can't afford this trip. We can't get on this plane, or the cars we have aren't in good enough shape to drive 16 hours one way and gas. No, then don't go. Mama, you really want me to go that bad? Pay for it. Well, mama, you want to pay for the flight then.
That's always an option. But then you have some parents that be, well, you knew this holiday was coming around. Y'all should have been preparing. Y'all, we sitting here act like we talking to people, some people that are sensible, but some people are not sensible. Y'all been knowing about this, so why y'all didn't prepare? Why y'all didn't plan to come?
And that's an unsensible question. You're not. Why are you in somebody else's pockets? You don't know what they got going on. That's one thing I don't understand, and I don't like when people get in other people's pocket. You don't know the bills they have, what's going out. You don't really know what's coming in, what came up. Why are you in their pockets?
And how you put water on that is I did know, but we didn't plan, we didn't whatever, so we're not coming. Or this is what my house has chosen to do, and be all right with that. And they will be all right. And you don't have to entertain that energy. All right, mom, I'm finna daddy, I'm finna get off the phone. I, Thank you. Conversation. You ain't got to say conversation is over, but that's just is what it is. And that's the choice that we have made. But don't feel like you got to keep up with the Joneses or you got to keep up with your siblings that they come in and they flying in and well, we don't want to look like this. Look, sometimes it might be we got to make our own traditions. I know this used to be a tradition that we had. We used to go for 5 years of our marriage, but now we just don't choose to be at home together. Or we're gonna choose to invite our kids over, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's only for financial reasons,
Yeah,
though.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or we hate it, right? I shouldn't say hate. Or tension in the family. But Thanksgiving now I can't. Well, you know what? This Thanksgiving was just we gonna do it at our house. And,
Mm-hmm.
with Christmas we're not gonna see nobody. Yeah, I don't. That don't make sense. But yeah, I agree with you on that point. Yeah.
So how do y'all choose? Let me ask y'all, how do y'all choose where you all are going during the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's Christmas? How do y'all choose what you all are gonna do? For us, we go to normally Thanksgiving is here. And so we are here for Thanksgiving. For Christmas, we used to we didn't used to rotate. It was a tradition because my my mother's kids, and because we knew we was going to Mineola, and Patrick kids used to go to California for Christmas, so we would get together on Christmas Eve and do Christmas Eve at my mama's house, and then on Christmas Day we would disperse and go, to different directions. But for the past, I think this will be 3 years, we have been going. It has switched to go to Mineola, and like this is like something that we're talking about now, because now it's like my mom is like, okay, so we just don't get Christmas at all when it used to be both. But then the Tuck side of the family, it was both. On Christmas Eve, we would spend it
Yeah,
because
we did do that, but
we would wake up and
we've
go
been
to
doing longer than it's been.
no, not this, not going to Mineola. It
No.
was right before COVID when we started going. I think 2019 when we started doing the Christmas Eve events, but we would stay here
Mhm.
Christmas Eve, go to Christmas breakfast with my dad family, and then since we were educators, we would spend like the 25th, 26th, 27th in Mineola. And so this year we have a conversation that we have to have, because my mom is like, so y'all going before Christmas, y'all not coming back to so
That
it's
don't make sense to me, though.
but that's and for me it's I'm putting everything into perspective. Again, it's the holidays, so the holidays become special to people. And
So, with that being said, you're not putting everything in perspective. If 99.9% of the holidays are spent here, then how are you putting it in perspective because mama wants us here?
and this is what I told mom, because my mama mentioned this on last year. And so I
That don't make sense to me. That's selfishly, in my opinion.
And so this is what I told Mon. This is what mama has asked. I'm looking at my mama's getting older. That certain things start becoming sentimental to people. I mean, you have a right to change. And so I told Mon last year in December, okay, we need to start making a point. Well, I actually had this conversation before that, but we need to start going to Mineola more. So, because I know this is what mom wants, so let's not make it to where we ain't been to Mineola all year long, and now you feel like we gotta go for this amount of time in December. but yet we still didn't do that. And actually, that's a certain things that just didn't happen this year. So it affords for a conversation. And so you got to decide as your house, how does it look? How does it work? Thanksgiving's always at my house, never nowhere else, no mother-in-law, nothing, just us and our kids. We always spend more time with his family than mine. Okay. Thank y'all for that. You all to tune into the Couples Lounge Show. We are talking about how y'all rolling for the holidays, because although this is a joyous time, it's Thanksgiving, etc., the holidays bring up emotions and situations that possibly wasn't there the whole year. Because sometimes, doing if you've lost somebody during just this time of the year, you start feeling a certain type of way. All year you might not have felt anything, but when it comes to the holidays, it starts bringing up the grief, or you missing that loved one, or it's bringing up now we got to be around family. And so how do we move? How do we choose? How do we show up with each other and with our family during this time? So I'm gonna start right there. Like, if grief is brought up because of the holidays, you have to be understanding of the person that is experiencing it. Even if you feeling like, well, that happened so long ago, you should be over that by now. Or maybe that person is showing up differently, begins to show up differently in the home, meaning you're starting to be mean. You're starting to take out your emotions that you are feeling in a negative way on us in the house. Speak to that. Do you have words for it?
No, man, that's a tough one. You can't tell nobody how to grieve.
Mm-hmm.
How do you tell someone how to grieve? Like you said, you just got to be understanding, knowing this time of the year, uh, wife or husband gonna have a little attitude. Hopefully, it ain't mean spirited, mean hearted. Um, but if you see they feeling some kind of way or acting some kind of way, go out your way to soothe them, because they're feeling this way because of the loss of a loved member, of someone they love. So you gotta be understanding. I'm thankful, um, that I've lost. We both have lost family members, grandparents, cousins, things of that nature, and I love them dearly. But it hasn't. I loss hasn't affected me in the way I'm depressed during the holidays. If that I don't know if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Yeah, that hasn't affected me in that manner to where I'm treating my family a certain way because of a loss of a love. And you may have at that particular moment when it happens, but during the holidays, I'm blessed to where the most important people in my life are still here. Um, so again, you can't tell no one how to grieve, but you got to be understanding. And I would at least bring it to their attention, babe. I know you're dealing with the loss of XYZ, but baby, this is how you show up. And I just want to make you aware of it. Um, and tell me, what can I do to help you in this situation to
Yeah.
where it isn't as painful
Yeah.
and you don't show up like this. Tried in that approach. But then again, that's a
And,
tough one.
and I would say this, as you are having whatever emotions are coming up during Christmas due to grief, you understand. And I'm just gonna step out there and say this: no one can tell you how to grieve your process, but I will say you don't have to be a mean person as you grieve, because that's not even of you. You being angry, you being um you having rage, you are being unloving, that that is no good. Like, that's no good for a relationship. That even if you're grieving, you can grieve without lashing out at people. And if you are lashing out, then there is some healing that you need to be doing around this area uh, of grief. And there are grief counselors out there. You should get a grief counselor if during this moment you become evil, you become mean, you become vengeful, you become all of that, and you expect people to understand. Well, I'm going through this, that, but you don't have to turn into that as you grieve. Your grieving process doesn't mean that you don't have love. You don't be without love with the people that you love, or just with people in general. So if that is you, if you find yourself getting in those states, you need to get some grief counseling. You need to get grief counseling. Joyful said we have to be self-aware even in grieving. Absolutely. Absolutely, because grieving does not give you a right to to
To be mean.
to be mean and tear other people down and lash. It doesn't give you that right.
Understanding that you know.
But like he said, the other spouse, make that person aware, baby. This is how you showing up. I don't know if you realize it,
Right.
but this is how you are showing up. And once that is pointed out, it can't be and you know what I'm going through. I'm experiencing this. It can't be that. It can't be that, because your energy is going to shift your household. Husband or wife, your energy will shift the household with your spouse, with your children, and with everybody. If you go around people, you're going to take that energy with you.
Right. Right.
So,
Well, that's a tough one because holidays are hard for some people.
they are.
For a lot of people, I ain't gonna say some. For a lot of people, holidays, while joyous occasion is a sad occasion as well.
Absolutely. And you get to create what you want to experience during the holidays. You get to create what you want to experience. I ain't just we're talking about the holidays, but that's life. You create what you want to experience. So if your mindset, your thoughts are negative, they mean they all of this, you got to realize that's what you're about to create in your life. So when you show up, more times than not, people will give you exactly what you giving out. So when we get there, family can bring out a very raw side of us, meaning going back to my childhood home, going back or going with my family. Some parents have the tendency to still make you feel like a kid and not in a good way. Sometimes you still don't get along with your siblings. And y'all grown. You didn't get along as teenagers. You didn't get along in your 20s. You still ain't getting along in your 40s. And now I got to be around them. Family has the ability to bring up, open up wounds. They step on things that are cause you to be triggered. And that is the reality. And we love them. I love them. I want to go, but I know when we go over there, that person is going to set me off. Are they going to say this? Are they going to be controlled? They going to be still trying to control everything we do. And we grown. So that's one of those things where you got to have a conversation with your spouse as well. And more times than not, you already know how your spouse feel about. I'm talking about going around their family. That you know how they feel about going around their family.
Right, right.
And you know the altercations that may happen. You have to be willing to be, as a husband, that protector. I got you. As a wife, if you know when he go over around there, when he come back home, he's gonna be absolutely drained because of the energy he's had to exert going over there for whatever reason. You got to be able to be there. You got to be willing to check on each other. Y'all got to check on each other throughout the event. You good? You ready to go? You just tell me when. What would you say?
Yeah, just like that. man, and that's a horrible situation to where you don't want to be around your own family.
Or you want to be, you just don't want the energy that comes with it. Or those moments. It might not even be the entire time, but mama gonna say something, daddy gonna do something, and I know I'm gonna start feeling a certain type of way.
Right, right. Yeah, that's again, that's a horrible situation. It has to be. But again, like you say, your spouse has to be there for you. Um, and your husband needs, yeah, your spouse has to be there for you. Just let them know, hey, not so much with this one. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mom, dad. I got to remove you from that situation. Come on, baby, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
And sometimes it is just, I won't say I'm saying that simple. I really don't like using that word that simple, because the reality of it is it's not always simple to everybody. So what it is I can tell when you done got rattled. I can tell when he done got rattled. I can tell when it's the look on his face, that whatever the case, wherever we are. So it might be, babe, come on, let's go, take a ride, or let's go outside, or you just see him and, baby, come here, text him, meet me in the room. You good? Let me check on you. It's good. It's just and sometimes it's the reassurance, because sometimes it might feel like I'm on this island having to deal. Literally, you feel like the kid you were when you was in the house with them. They have taken you back there, and sometimes it just take your spouse to come here, look me in my eyes, get back right, and all right, speaking to them. Well, baby, say this. You're grown now. You don't have to just take. You have the ability to use your voice now. You're grown. And you say, I'm, as a wife, I'm shutting it down. We're not going. But yes, your family can bring up emotional hurt from the past. Because sometimes it's like, I haven't got past what you done to me. I love you. I'm supposed to be around you. But that person say one thing and you like, no, you not talking. How you telling me how to raise my kids? That one.
Yeah.
That one. When you trying to tell me how to raise these and how you raised us, you trying to get on me for being this type of parent, and you was that type of parent. That, I know that is a big one in families. Yeah. So what do you do? What do you do? In my experience, the man doesn't have issues with the family. It's the wife majority of the time, always conflicting among women.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I
More times than not, it's the women.
but I
Men
would
understand. Now, I mean, that's
mm,
not absolute. We're not saying
mm-hmm.
that, but and I agree from my opinion, in looking and seeing how that happens with other people. It is with the women.
Well,
Men are not getting into with other men like that in the family. It's the women that have the issue. I've seen it over and over again. How many men you? I mean, in your family, my family,
mm-hmm.
what man has had an issue in your family?
And I'm really talking about here with your immediate family, like
Okay.
your mom and
Okay.
your dad and your siblings, the people that you grew up in the house with. And
Okay.
I think most of
Absolutely.
the time in those situations, it is it's mutual, so to say. Like your parents making you feel like,
Mm-hmm.
because a dad can absolutely make his son feel a certain type of way still as an adult, or a mother can make her daughter feel a certain type of way, or even vice
Oh
versa.
yeah.
Sometimes it's
A man can make his
mothers.
daughter feel a certain way.
Yeah. And so I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about the immediate family, people that you grew up with, like them making you feel a certain type of way when you are around them. So I would say, again, if you've been married or with that person for any amount of time, you already know they should have already opened. They probably done already opened up to you just throughout the year. You see the interactions with them and their family. You have to be a team. Marriage is about being a team at all times. And you might not get it right all the time, but that should be what our goal is, our vision is for us to be a team. We not in conflict with each other. We trying to be as one. That is the goal. And so I know when you go around, this is kind of what they gonna bring up. So I'm watching, I'm looking, I'm peeping. Because if I need to step in, I need to help you realign, regulate. That's what I'm there for. What about when we get there, your behavior? And so this is off of the topic of them triggering you.
Yeah, what you mean? I
You
don't.
get there and your behavior. You drink during the holidays. I don't want you drinking.
What? Unless I have a drinking problem and have
Or drinking make you act a certain way, and I don't want to be
yeah,
dealing with that.
yeah, it had to been a past issue where me drinking has caused an issue, and now you don't want me to drink, but all of a sudden you and I don't want you drinking.
I think you drink too much. And I don't want you drinking during the holiday. I don't want you drinking when we go.
Yeah, then don't go. Yeah, you shouldn't go. I don't even know what to. Are you serious?
Because some people
But
start.
I get it.
Mhm.
If I have caused harm to my family or to my wife because of my drinking,
Or you
to
get
my
into it
husband.
when we get out. You start getting into it with people.
Absolutely. And it is not something he or she just sprang up on you. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I can understand you not wanting him or her to drink.
So if I'm asking you as your spouse not to drink or to limit your drinking,
Right.
I'm having this conversation before we go. How do we work through that? Because when you drink, this is how you start acting. When you drink, you start getting into it with people.
Right.
When you drink, you forget you married to me, and maybe you become flirtatious. Or you forget you married, and now I'm your enemy in front of family,
Right.
and we have an issue.
Right.
So
Then
what do you do?
You shouldn't drink. You shouldn't drink. You shouldn't drink. If that is causing my drinking is causing what you said, yeah, nah, you shouldn't drink. I see. I've never understood an angry, confrontational drunk, or a person that gets angry when they drink. A confrontational. I turn into a comedian when I drink, but I've never gotten that. Um, yeah, nah, man, that'll destroy your family. Alcohol or drugs would destroy. Have you by yourself?
We've had situations where drinking was like, okay, he drank, and I tried to be understanding, but you done got sideways with yourself because you drunk. And it's been years ago, and we had a conversation once he wasn't drunk, and I can't even remember if he realized that he did it or remembered he did it, but if your spouse is saying you are short, but the great thing now is that we have cameras. So, oh, you don't believe what I'm saying about how you look when you drunk? Okay, I'm going to record you, and no, you can't let them know you record them. I'm gonna record you and let you see how you show up, and maybe then you will believe it if you see it with your own eyes.
I
Because
think when I drink, I can actually be a comedian, go on stage, and get paid for it.
thank you, that's funny.
I think I'd be that funny. I really do. I think I could go on. I might have to try that.
Now
one
you
day.
you TV, you might be TV ready. I don't know stage ready, but
stage ready.
TV ready.
I think I could be stage ready. That's how I am when I get to drinking. Like, man, mom is really funny. I didn't know it was that funny. I probably was drinking. I had a little something. I had a little sip in me.
So the behavior, how you show up. What about the person that when they get around their family, you start being different with me? Now that you are around your family, different in not a good way. Now you be joking about it, but you'll be like, oh, your family heard, so now you saying this or now you saying that. But it's some people that literally change up because definitely when we ain't good.
And you can be like that around your family.
What?
Not with the alcohol.
Be like what around my family?
Man, if you around your parents or just if we over there, Lord forbid, I'd say Candace don't mop the floor good. Anything with you. If you, yeah,
How do
yeah.
I act differently around? So you're saying I wouldn't act like that at home, but I act like that around my family?
No, yeah, I'm saying you're more up. You seem to get more upset. Yeah.
No, that don't have nothing to do with being around my family. That could possibly have something to do with me feeling a certain way about how you showing up.
Okay.
Yeah, we're about to go too far. We're
Yeah,
about to go too
okay.
far.
Okay.
That's the stuff that you do
No.
around my family that will cause a response. That
I'll let you tell it.
okay. So yeah, when you get around your family and you start treating me differently because now you're around your family. And so no smoking weed at the gatherings because you show up differently, no dope smoking at all, getting high. So
Yeah, I mean, I ain't mad at that. If you don't want to, I mean, that's like drinking. If you don't want them drinking, if you don't want smoking weed, I get it. If you show up differently high than you do off alcohol, no, don't smoke. You ain't don't. You better not smoke. I have no issue with no party, wife or husband, girl, fiance, girlfriend, boy, whatever, telling their other not to drink or smoke because they act or show up a certain way.
right.
I have zero issues with that. The problem is, can you get them to see how they show up when
Right.
they this way? The problem, here's the problem. More times than not, the person who acts a certain way around a parent, a loved one, or when they high or drunk, they don't see it. You could tell them they show. I've yet to hear. And there's a smaller percentage of people who are like, "Hey, you probably right. I do show up like that." They don't see it. They don't. You see it.
Yeah. And everybody else see it.
But they don't. Nah, that's you. Okay. Sometimes it's okay. Just shut up.
And then it just goes back to trying to understand. A lot of times we don't even be trying to get an understanding of the other person. Baby, why are you telling me not to drink? Like, what is your why? Now, if it's I just don't like you to drink because that person ain't no drinker, and I just don't like you to drink, I don't think you need to drink. It's just like, well, if that's your reason,
Well, yeah.
just because
We
that's
gonna
your
have
preference.
we're gonna have a problem. Then I don't understand that anyway because I was drinking when we was dating.
But you still you should be maturing and you should be maturing and getting.
Yeah, you're not telling me not to drink because I don't I just think it's wrong to drink.
Because some people shift in their mindset and then it's like drinking is not good for you. So if anybody is telling you don't drink, it's actually a great thing.
Like I get it, but on the holidays and gatherings, you want to have it for everyone to enjoy themselves, but you don't want people to drink at your house because you don't drink at your house. But then your entire family have.
But this, if you gonna host it here at my house, then this is my rules.
Then don't host. Don't host. It's the holiday. You're gonna have to, but you can't sip nothing in my house. Then don't host because I'm not gonna want to go.
But most of the time,
I wouldn't go if I can't drink at your house for Thanksgiving. After the game, I can't sip and watch the game, have a cold beer or a stiff drink, and I'm not coming to your house.
Well, that's a choice that you have. You don't have to go if you know that is that person's house rules. Just like we got you have a house rules for when we host this year. Some people might think that's crazy. Like
not to eat upstairs.
They might think, what's the problem with it? Like
there's carpet up there, and if you got a problem with it, don't come.
That's a choice. So you can't tell somebody, well, you know that this family, your family, this, that, and the other, and you have this house rule. No, it's not.
Eating upstairs where it's carpet instead of downstairs where it's wood floor in our house is different.
It's different because it's your rule.
No, it's different because one, you don't have to eat up there because it's plenty of eating area downstairs. Drinking
It's worse
How is it worse?
because people get drunk
90% of your family
because
drink.
people get drunk. People get, but my family don't get confrontational with each other.
No.
But some people families you get confrontational.
Well, I don't know. We have.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. But more times than not,
We
it's
can
all
get
love.
but it's confrontational in a good way. We've never got confrontational and ready to throw blows.
But for some people, that might
We
just
get
be them.
confrontational,
They don't want
especially in
alcohol in
sports
their
talk.
house because maybe their family don't know how to act when they drink. So I don't want no drinking
Right,
over here.
no.
So, but it's that household's decision.
Yeah, it is.
So, and I would say
You
this:
shouldn't host a family function for holidays if you don't want people to drink it.
that's not
I think that's
okay.
a
That's
good
your
rule.
perspective.
Yeah, if
That
you
is
got
your
the
perspective.
holidays during the game or something like that, don't host if you don't want people to have
You
a
can
fit.
have a good time without
I
drinking.
didn't say you could. I'm just saying don't
I
host.
have
in my
an
opinion.
amazing time. So you would have a good time without drinking.
I wouldn't come.
Bless your heart. He would go if
No,
if Mama right now said we not drinking when you come down here, you
but
will be all right.
You're asking some tomato. She wouldn't say that.
I'm just saying if she would,
But she
you would
would say
still
that.
would you still go if Mama said that? Would you go?
That's different. If
Why?
your mother asks you to say,
Okay,
I
well
can't drink.
you can make it different. Okay, it's still it's you. We're talking about at somebody's
I'm going to
house.
your mama house. My mama
You
house.
if it was my mama saying that you would be tripping like this, you probably a trip with your mama too, but you
I
probably will
would.
still go.
I would.
You'll still go. You'll still go. So I would say this: if your behavior changes up against your spouse around your family, that's something that you have to be mindful of because they're going to inform you and you got to see why you're doing that. And I think most of the time that happens when you ain't in a good place with your spouse. Say for instance, y'all are at odds and now you're around your family. Now you got an army with you, but some people just don't like the spouse. And so yeah, when they come around, we all talking crazy to them. And so if I did a somebody should have told me moment right now for the holidays, because we are at time, I would say this is that during the holiday, for the sake of the show, during this time of the season, you all have to be willing to communicate. Communicate what you need from your spouse, what you need when you go into these functions, what you need for is how they can support you. Be honest with how you feel when you are around the family or whoever. It might not even be family. Y'all might be have a ritual of going to a best friend's house. It might be that, but you all have to communicate on the front end. That's being proactive. Let's talk about it. Let's get our signals together. What time we leaving? You know, your cousin makes me feel like this. Talk about it. And when you go, if something happens that was unexpected, it wasn't all love that you thought it should be, when you get home and maybe the car ride home, y'all got to have a conversation because we're not going to repeat this again, or we want to try not to repeat what just happened again. So communicate. 2, be a team. Be a team. A loving team. Not I gotta be a team with you. I gotta operate as one with you. Not that energy. Because it's gonna show up in your way of being. But truly make a decision that we are going to be a team. Because the farther you get away from each other, the more opportunity it is for stuff, people, circumstances to come between you. But if you like this, can't nobody come between that. So stay a team during this time and be intentional and want to be happy. Some people just want to be miserable. Some people just want to be sad. Some people just want to be angry. Have an intention that I want to be happy. I am going to have a good time when I go over here. And I ain't gonna let nobody set me out. I ain't gonna let nobody make me go there. Cause they really ain't making you. You're giving them permission. You are giving them permission to make you feel a certain type of way. And it's your choice. And so those will be my three.
My somebody should have told me, man, be grateful, be thankful that you're here
Mm-hmm.
for another holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Be understanding of those who are grieving someone during the holidays. Um, and do all that you can to help them. Be understanding. But then again, more importantly, man, be thankful. That's my one thing. The two I would say: be thankful that you have made it yet to see another holiday. So many of our loved ones haven't. Um, and just appreciate being here and appreciate the people you do love and who loves you. You may
Mm-hmm.
love people who may not show you love. You
Yeah.
may love people who may not love you. Don't focus on them. Focus on the people
Yeah.
that
That's
loves
good.
you and show you love. Um, and then be understanding to the people that's closest to you that are grieving and hurting during this time.
Okay. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Couples Lounge. We are the Tucks. We offer life and relationship coaching if you need it. You see the banner scrolling down below, but if you're listening in, you can go to www.wewillwin.as.me and book your discovery session. You all, the discovery sessions are $25, but once you book and actually come on as a client, we give you the $25 back. So it's actually free. So yes, we want to love and support you. And if you want to make sure, we want to start getting right before the holidays. So yes, we need to book us some sessions so that we can have a merry, a joyous, a happy time during these holidays and get ready to go into 2023 better. You need to book like right now so that your 2023 can be a totally different experience as a couple than your 2022, 21, 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, etc. So thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Absolutely, Tyra. We love y'all for real. We have 2 more Saturdays before the Couples Lounge go on a sabbatical hiatus for the month of December as we prepare for the next year with our shows. So make sure that you come back on the 19th and on the 22nd and tune in to,
26.
I'm sorry, 26th. Tune in for what we have in store for you. Also, if you're in the Metroplex, go and support. I call him Rome. Some people call him Ken. He got actually a stage name. He's a part of a comedy show on the 23rd at Arlington Improv. Um, so go, 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 go. Ooh, Tiffany. Speak on it, girl. We do want to be traveling. We want to be speaking worldwide. Where we traveling from city to city. So call it, and then we can let our community know. Yep, we're gonna be in Illinois on this day. Make sure y'all come out and see us. Okay, so get back to Rome. So y'all go out, go to Addison Improv on the 23rd. Book your tickets to go out and support the hometown guy. So yeah, and wish him much success. If you came to our Black Marriage Day, the fourth one we had, the last was it it wasn't the last one we had, it was the third one we had. He was the comedian there. And so you know it, Tiffany, honey. Manifestation. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in to the Couples Down Show. We really appreciate y'all. Get at us if you need support. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's actually self-care and it's self-love for you to get coaching, counseling, and healing. All right? We out. Peace.